You say you will actually be there physically? Do you mean you will look like you do right now, with the same body and everything? Sure. I will still be me, except I will be with God. And how about your father and mother? Will they be there too? Sure, even my grandmother and grandfather, my brothers and sisters and uncles and aunts and cousins. Everybody who has been good will be there. Even my little brother who died when he was still a baby. Will they look the same as they did here on Ob? Naturally. They will be just as they were here on Ob. I see. Perhaps you can tell me how your baby brother will look. He will look the same. He will be a baby. You mean he will have to spend eternity as a baby? That doesn't sound like much fun. What? Well, I suppose he, well, I don't know how that works. I'll have to ask my priest. How about you? What if you don't die until you are very old, sick and old? Is that how you will be in heaven? Oh no, I'll have my healthy body back just as it was. You mean just as it is now, or just as it was when you were younger? Will you get to choose? I'll ask my priest. Just then Zian arrived with the new Universal Vision part. What took you so long? Asked Zelton. Not waiting for an answer, began to install the new electro panel. After the panel was installed, Zelton turned on the set and waited for the image to appear. It worked, but it was a little fuzzy. Zelton said he would have to go outside and adjust the antenna. When he left, Zian turned to Kenom and said, "Sorry it took so long, but they were working on the tunnel and I had to wait for a while for them to fix it." "That's quite all right," replied Kenom. "I had a nice chat with Zelton." "Did he go into all that religious stuff with you? He drives me crazy with his preaching." "Well, as a matter of fact he did, but I didn't mind. His views are rather fun to listen to." "I take it you're not a believer, God believer like him." "Nope," replied Zian. Zelton knows that too. I've made that clear. He leaves me alone. He's a native Ober. Did he tell you that?" "Yes, he did. Are you?" "Hell no. I was born in Flexton, and I'm going back just as soon as my tour of duty is up, in about 3 month marks. This place is too corrupt for me." "Oh really? How's that?" asked Kenom. "Well, did you meet Fleckmaster Subu and Fleckmaster Flynn yet?" "Yes, I did," answered Kenom. "As a matter of fact, we just returned from Patrol Dome 4 when we met you and Zelton on the platform. We had been visiting Fleckmaster Subu's art gallery, which I liked very much. I even presented him with 2 abstract paintings as gifts that I brought from Zimmnel to add to his collection." Zelton chuckled and rolled his eyes. "I'm sure they were very grateful that were bowing and gesturing their respect with gratitude, right?" Kenom was a little taken aback, though he tried to hide his surprise. "Go on," he said. "Well, the fact is, 90% of them hate you Zimmnellians. They can't stand you. They envy your technology, but they think you guys are a bunch of robots. They think must be something wrong with your gene pool because you all look alike. Maybe it's not Subo. He's one of the best masters up here. He's a pretty good guy. Most Zimmies like him. But as for the Fleck Lords, they're a bunch of hypocrites. I'll bet your paintings end up in their friendship gallery, which is a dark room in the basement. Myself, I have no problem with Zimmnellians. I spend most of the time working in Central Dome, and the Zimmies that I deal with are pretty good guys. But those numbheads up there in patrol domes, the ones who man these space guns, they're something else. They don't talk to anybody." "Well," said Kenom, "the Zimmnellians who get assigned to the space guns are all very electronic-minded, and they seldom even talk to other Zimmnellians. I can assure you that Zimmel patrolmen have no bad feelings towards any Flextons. This is just a duty assignment, and we all do our best to put in our time and go home." "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that we didn't want you here. Those Fignuns would be all over us if it wasn't for you guys and your space guns. It's just that back on Flexton we have a lot of problems. You know, the poverty and such. And when I see how much money these Fleck Masters and Fleck Lords spend on their elaborate parties and their fancy gold-decorated domes, I get furious. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm afraid I know very little about Flexton, said Kenom. No, I'm the one who should be sorry. I shouldn't have said anything. That's quite all right, said Kenom. It is good to be concerned about your planet and your people. It's very commendable. Just then Zelton returned. Okay, that should do it, he said as he adjusted the set. You can get all the channels now. Thank you, that looks fine, replied Kenom. I can fix it so you can't get the Pluton's Godforce channel if you want, said Zelton. Two can play their game. No, that won't be necessary, said Kenom. I might just want to see what they have to say. Well, okay, but it ain't much worth watching. I'll tell you right now, it's just a bunch of crap. Anyway, we've got to go. Let us know if you have any more trouble. I will, replied Kenom, and thank you kindly for your help. As they were leaving, Zelton pulled out a pamphlet from his pocket and handed it to Kenom. Here, he said, this will tell you a little more about God and Enew. You know what I said? Thank you, said Kenom. I'll look it over. Zelton rolled his eyes as they turned and left.